Hey everybody, Peter Finch here, and I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Matthew Fryer, teaching professional at the Trafford Golf Centre and all-round nice chap, and Calvin Klein model 2020. How are you, mate? You okay?
I'm good. Apart from not knowing how to hit a golf shot, I'm far better. I'm far better at teaching than I am playing, it seems now.
Or speaking, in fact.
Yeah, and speaking as well.
We're down here at North Manchester Golf Club, and we've just had a 4-hole warm-up. Matt, you can see, he's on yellow golf balls now, which probably tells you how well it went initially over the first few holes. Around this socially distanced course, we're going to be talking about course management. The first hole is 252 yards, straight back up the hill there.
I'm thinking wedge so I don't lose my emergency golf balls. But in all seriousness, if you're thinking of course management here, one, you've got a massive dip out to the right. Two, there's out of bounds left. There seems to be a flat plateau about 120 yards, 130 yards. So I was thinking you could play to that instead of trying to whiz it on the green now.
Okay.
Would be my go-to, I would say.
I'm going to go for it. Okay.
Hold your line, that's beautiful.
Hold your line.
Just 40 short.
Wow. So I wanted to make sure I was getting beyond that bunker, but way too far. Fryer, really good shot in there. Decent chance for a birdie.
Must be the orange ball, I can see it.
Right, laying up, opening up the green.
Whoa!
Turn. So that hole, I'd say I played that much more like a golf YouTuber should, you know, aggressive, went for the green. Fryer played it like a better professional, and who gave themselves the better chance of a birdie? Of course it's Fryer. So let's consider some of the basic points of course management. Course management can be split into different components, but two of the main ones, you've got to identify potential dangers, but then you've got to focus on the outcome which you want. You don't want to turn course management into an exercise of I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. Course management is all about crystallizing in your mind what you do want to do. A good way to do this is to start from the pin and then work backwards from the green. A very simple way to think about this is if the pin is on the right hand side of the green, you're much better at coming in from the left-hand side of the fairway. Now, just doing that one simple thing alters the way that you see your tee shot on, say, a par 4 or your approach shot on a par 5. It also changes the way that you assess your approach shot. If that pin is tight to the right-hand side, you don't want to short side yourself, so you don't want to miss right of the green. So therefore, you'd be favouring more of the left-hand side of the green. 390, wind is pretty hard off the left. We're slightly sheltered by these trees. Fairway looks like it goes from left to right, which says to me should maybe have a bit of a draw back into it. Yeah, both me and Fryer aren't known for our drawing capability. However, there is a massive gap there over to the right hand side. The only issue is going to be these trees that will block out the approach. Very good. That'll do. The Fryer here has got about 125 yards. I think he's going to be aiming this left half of the green. We'll see with the fly, and then just trying to let it drift back on the wind. I don't think he's going to try and draw it back into it. Yeah, wind just pushed it right. Go. There we go. 7th hole. So Fry's got a Garmin on. We're just looking at basically how to play this hole. We've not played here before, and we can't actually see the fairway, so we might just be able to see there's like a ridge running there which obscures the rest of the hole. But we know there's a ditch basically in the middle. We're just not entirely sure where. So I think we're both going to be hitting a couple of irons, maybe a couple of 4 irons potentially. Now, I know many of you are screaming at the, well, no, probably not, hopefully not, at your phone, computer or TV, whichever device that you watch the videos on. And they're saying, well, I can't draw a ball, I can't fade a ball, I don't have any control over my shots. Now, no matter who you are, you will generally have a shot pattern, whether that's a slice, well, yeah, let's stick with that. Let's say a slice. So here's a piece of advice that you can use straight away to actually look at a golf course differently. Let's say you're watching this and you're a 15 handicapper. The next time you go to a golf course, look at the stroke index of each hole. Now the stroke index of each hole is a level of difficulty given to each of the holes on the golf course. So stroke index 1 is meant to be the hardest hole, while stroke index 18 is going to be the easiest hole. And that's ranked on different scores that come in, and along with some other metrics, which sometimes don't make sense. But if you're struggling to plan out a hole, do this. So if you are a 15 handicapper, what you can do is on the 15th hardest hole, so stroke index 15, rather than calling that a par 4, add your stroke on before you even tee off. So you're now playing a par 5. So you've turned that par 4 into a par 5 in your mind. Now play it as a par 5 with a layup shot. So look where your tee shot would go, look where your layup shot would go, and then see how you would pitch or hit your next shot onto the green. If you walk off there with 5, that is a par 5. And you'll start to see how you can plan out and play the golf course in a completely different manner.
Fryer. And we'll pace it out, have a look. It's got a bit of a shoulder to come onto to the green. The green's like an upturned helmet or an upturned bowl. A molehill, insert any domed object.
If you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. Get down into those comments as well. Let us know your best course management tips. What have you been told? What have you seen? And what has worked? 460, I mean, got some long holes here, and the wind is just everywhere. Like the clouds are going that way, so it's downwind. But the flag on the green is straight into face. The wind feels into face. It's just swirling everywhere.
Yeah, it's slightly tricky one that with the wind off the left. Certainly for me, I like to cut it. I don't really have a hold up into it with the driver at the moment. I can't quite get the draw working yet. So I've gone a little bit too far to the right. Fry's just on the left hand side, which is definitely the side to be on, because again that opens up the green. He obviously knows what he's doing, this kid, even subconsciously. Ah. Oh no, dude.
Fry here, you got to think, could really seal the deal. It's unlikely, unless I get a hole in one on the next, that I could claw it back from 2 strokes behind.
It's amazing sport golf, isn't it?
I was just saying there, joking about like what a crazy sport golf is, but this is something that you can bring into your course management as well, because quite frankly, Fryer over the first 4 holes was absolutely awful. Like, you know,
Worst golf I've played
like
in 8 years.
literally terrible. But unlike old Mr. Fryer, unlike Mr. Hulk, he just laughed, let it go, and then all of a sudden he finds himself 2 ahead after 2 birdies and the rest pars. Wow, last hole, it is a par 3 though, hello. Now, understanding that course management is all about planning your way around, giving yourself that perfect opportunity to shoot your best score. But bear in mind, golf loves to take your plans, chew them up, and spit them out in a terrible mess. A key aspect of course management is when something does go wrong, as it inevitably will do, is to not throw the rest of the plan out of the window. It's to not change your approach. If you give your mind a very clear understanding of what you want it to do, the chances are it's going to work to achieve that goal. If you go into a situation confused, unsure about what's going to happen, at the end of the day, the result, if it comes out in a positive, is probably more down to luck than preparation and planning. So the consistency of your course management is key. But here's something which is positive. The more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more subconscious it will become. Certainly if you're playing at the same course time and time again. So get some of this advice on board now. Use these tips now, and then they will become more of a habit moving into the long term.
Kick off the bank though, that. A bit like that. Now track towards the hole. Pick up speed.
Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you plan, just get lucky. Better lucky than good, right?
The thing about golf, I pitched there and then came down to about 10 foot. Fryer's miles through the back, and he probably pitched about there. just a little bit of a pull with his P790. Now he's got to come up over this slope, dribble down. You know, I hope he doesn't have a bogey, but at the same time, just focus on what I can do. Ignore the opponent. Focus on what you can do. So I hope you enjoyed this bit of a crash course in course management. Big thank you to North Manchester Golf Club for having us down. Really enjoyed the course so far. Very tree line, very tricky, but hey, you know, not tricky enough to get a lucky bounce birdie to halve the match. Big thank you to Matthew as well for taking the time to chat through some of his top tips and his thoughts. Appreciate that.
Be calm.
Be calm.
You never know how the game can change.
You know that well-known Matt Fryer saying, be calm.
Be calm.
So huge thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get down into those comments. Let us know your top tips. Make sure you go over to Matt's channel as well. Check him out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Some really good coaching videos. And you know what? Just a nice guy. So you might as well go subscribe.
Yeah,
or else. He's not that nice.